video about what's going on in the world, particularly in Australia right now. My name is Mark Aldridge. I'm basically banned across most media sources. So I'm videoing this and hoping to upload it somewhere where people can actually see it. I've come out of the political arena for a long time. You don't need to know my history. I'm sure it bores you. I thought it might be interesting to talk about what's happening in Australia right now. I'll just put my glasses on. I can't see very well. Right now in Australia, we're going through lockdowns. We're losing business. We're going through all sorts, same as the rest of the world. It's a worldwide phenomenon. But what's really interesting is how it all started. So let's just look at some of the legal aspects of it. First of all, in Australia, the WHO and the UN were dictating to us what we should do about the COVID pandemic. And so they created a national cabinet. Now, they didn't really create a national cabinet. It was a farce. The national cabinet was labelled the national cabinet to deal with these issues so that it could deny any access to freedom of information applications and could hide what was really going on in Australia. That's just been proven in the courts yesterday to be totally dodgy. Therefore, freedom of information applications can be made to find out what is really going on with the COVID situation. Unfortunately, those that put applications in, you might want to go and find out where they are right now, because if you put an application in freedom of information, they're going to come down on you like bricks, like they have every other person that's either political like myself or an activist like myself, right across the border, being removed from social media posts. We're removed from Twitter, we're removed from YouTube. We're not allowed to have a conversation. And as a political candidate of 20 years, democracy deserves a shitload better. And so does it deserves a lot more than pretending to have a national cabinet so they can get together and have meetings and keep the information about what's going on from we the people. It goes much worse than that, because some of the first acts that this national cabinet supposedly made were to amend all sorts of legislation in Australia to deny us rights, or our ability, our freedoms, our rights, or our ability to know what the hell's going on. Some of those acts were the Poisons Act. The Poisons Act would deny the application to bring in untested DNA modifying, gene therapy shots, which they're using right now, which are not a vaccine and can't be called a vaccine in law. That's been debated back in 2008 when the Fauci in America tried to get the vaccine, call it a vaccine, get it patented way before this even came out. And the vaccine, they turned that down because it wasn't a vaccine. They changed the Poisons Act here in Australia to enable them to give that out under emergency circumstances. That was done by the National Cabinet. They changed the Labelling Act to make it impossible for us to have access to the information about the products they wish to inject us with. They are attempting, as best they can, to coerce everybody to partake in the medical trial, even where the law doesn't allow it. Fair workplace laws in this country are quite ingrained in the legal system and the protections of workers, and now we see companies trying to demand their workers have the jab or they can't work, which is illegal. They've tried to make the jab some sort of mandate. The Constitution, Section 23, won't allow that. There's been, it's not just the Constitution that won't allow it, but there's been debates in the High Court on Section 23A and the different parts of 23A which clearly do not give the government any power to mandate that we do anything with our body other than free choice. We're seeing the Privacy Act being overridden. Well, not overridden. We're seeing a situation where control of our parliament is gone. We have this national cabinet, which is a farce and illegal, making decisions and giving powers to outside sources. So we see police now with a right to write regulations. They change the regulations on a weekly basis in most states, and they don't know how to police those regulations. So we're seeing people being arrested for things they haven't, when they haven't even committed a crime. This is an unacceptable situation. It's unacceptable that I'm not allowed to talk to you about it on any social forums. I've got a bit of noise in the background there, so I'll finish here. I'll try and put this video up, and if I can find a way to get the video up and you guys are interested in hearing more about what's really going on in Australia and what's going on around the rest of the world, I'll come back on and fill you in. Thank you.